This is Taylor Stevens, and you're listening to Tanya Tate Presents Skinfluencer Success Podcast.
This is Tanya Tate. Skinfluencer Success.
You are listening to Tanya Tate Presents Skinfluencer Success. How do successful people move through adversity? So coming up next on Tanya Tate Presents Skinfluencer Success, how do successful people move through adversity? My guest Taylor Stevens is an award-winning performer, webcam model and content creator. She'll share her journey of weight loss transformation, surviving cancer, and how she evolved her business strategy to find success on premium social media platforms. So welcome Taylor Stevens to the podcast. Yay!
So happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so excited because really the podcast is being transformed. This is the very first time that I'm doing a video of a guest. I'm like,
you always remember your first, so there you go.
The fans are going to be so excited. They're like, you got Taylor Stevens. It's just like, oh yes. But some of them are not going to know who you are. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who's Taylor Stevens and how did you get started in the industry?
Sure. So I'm Taylor Stevens. I've been a cam model since, I would say prehistoric age. No, I've been a cam model since 2006. I started in this industry as a bigger girl. Someone had said to me, why don't you try webcamming? And I'm very open and, I'll try. I feel like I'll try anything once. So I tried it, and I was actually working and training other people at TELUS Head Mobility, TELUS Mobility Head Office. So I was a trainer teaching people how to, answer calls and whatnot. And then when this opportunity, I'm like, let me take my vacation time from TELUS and let me see what this is all about. So I did. And then it was not to brag or anything, but it was an instant success. And I just felt at home. So I knew this is where I wanted to be. And I've always been like a hustler, and I've worked since before I could work. I have a very strong work ethic, and it was history from there. I just logged lights, camera, action, and I enjoyed success to this day. So it's been a long journey, but it's been an amazing one, and it's still lots to come.
Great. I love it. So you started off, you kind of dipped your toe in the webcam industry, and you loved it, and you kind of stuck with it.
I was in shock because I was also bigger at that time, and I didn't realize there was a market for bigger girls. And then I quickly came to realize it wasn't just about looks. And I'm a very good people person, and I care about people authentically, and I remember them. And from bartending too, you always remember someone's drink or someone's, you're there to listen. And I attributed that, and I took that to my camming, and here I am. I think that's what's given me sustainability in this industry. It's much more than looks.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? It's like connecting with your fans. For me, when the fans come on and you kind of like remember them, and you remember like where you're leaving off, where did we leave off last time, and here we're coming back again, and it's like, and we're following the story on. Sometimes it's like, they have little scenarios that they like to play out, or they like certain things. Sometimes for me it's like a role play, and then he comes back and it's Auntie Tanya, and it's like, oh, where were we last time? we were having a little day out at the beach, or we were meeting up secretly at the gym. So I love the scenario.
I feel that like it's like everyone has a favorite drink. Everyone has their own little thing, and for us to remember and truly immerse ourselves in that, it shows. Well, for me, I always make sure they know that they're important, because I wouldn't be here standing without my fans, right?
Yeah.
And so it's important that they know that I care to cater to their needs. I mean, albeit not, the crazy, there's obviously we all have limits, but I will do my best to fulfill whatever it is they want, whether they just want to talk, whether they want to watch football together, whether they want to eat together, whether they want to, do a little role play. I'll be your teacher, no problem, So I actually enjoy it because I know I'm making others happy, internally, externally, just whatever. So as long as they're smiling at the end of my show, I know I've done a great job.
Yeah. So let's talk. So you started off as webcam model.
Yeah.
You started with that, and then you moved forward. You kind of moved into. Did you move into a different company with the webcamming?
Well, actually, sadly, no. I actually, so I started webcamming as the people who referred me to iFriends, which is no longer in existence. That was my home. I'm very loyal, so I didn't leave iFriends at all until, unfortunately, out of nowhere, they just shut down out of nowhere, and that was in 2012. I had even asked, I knew there was issues with the site, so I'd even asked them, "Hey, what's going on? Like, members can't refill their wallet. Like, is there something going on?" But they didn't say anything. Even that very morning, I said, "Hey, is this issue fixed?" My connection there said, "It'll be fixed in a bit." And then that was before I logged on at all. And then I logged on, and it was like, "Sorry, we're closed" sign. And so I was in complete shock. But that's later in the career. Earlier in the career, when I first started, it was somebody who was taking advantage of me. I wasn't able to see my statistics and this and that. And then I'm very smart, very, very street smart and work smart. So I said, that doesn't make any sense that they have my information legally and I can't see my stats. This person lived in Toronto, frequented the bar. And so what they would do is they would, control my account. I would work. They would tell me this is how much I made, and then I would meet with them, and they would pay me supposedly through iFriends envelope and whatnot. I quickly found out that they were scamming me out of a lot of money. I switched my account overnight. Like overnight, I was like, it was like a FBI operation. My friend was with me. I called them. They said, "Of course you can access your stats. You're the one whose passport's on file." So I said, bing, bang, boom. I forwarded the next check to me as it was going to the other person. And I saw my stats. I'm like, whoa. And so I created a new screen name. Instead of Taylor Stevens, it was Taylor Stevens 00 because I had to create something new, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that next day, that week, #1 on the top 10 list. And I was like, yeah,
Wow.
bam. And I'm doing this. And I pushed forward. And then the irony is that guy later reached out to me, even though I blocked him, said, "Oh, thank you, Taylor. I wanted to apologize. Thank you for teaching me what not to do." I mean, that's not really an apology. That's basically saying, well, this is what I'm going to do to other girls now. You outsmarted me, but no one else will. But I've forgiven because you have to forgive to move forward, and look at the fact that I forgave and let go of that anger. And it was okay because it was quick. I wasn't on the site that long before I realized something's up. My intuition's always right.
Yeah.
And I switched on over and I just killed it, and I kept killing it. I have a strong work ethic, so I kill myself at work.
So that really is important. There's a lot of girls that or people, it's not just girls, sorry, like people get on and start webcamming. You don't always know what you do, and you're kind of being led, and sometimes you can be led by people that are going to be taking advantage of you. So it's good that, for people that are listening, if you are starting out, make sure that you can go in, make sure that you can see your stats, make sure that you are getting paid directly. And, and I love it, the fact that, things happen to us, right? Okay, so we've all gone through different journeys, in the career, and sometimes it's like, did I really do that? At the time you think it feels like a mistake, or you feel like someone's done something really bad or untoward towards you. Yeah. And being able to sit there, and I love what you said, is forgive them, because I think once you get like, you go through emotions, and you go through these emotions, and it's like, okay, now where am I at? Well, take it as a learning. Take it as a learning curve.
In disguise. People are always, you're always getting these blessings and these lessons that you can learn. You just have to open your eyes and see them, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have known that I could do this and this and this, and I would have thought I had a requirement of working 40 hours a week, like they said. I ended up working double that when I knew that I didn't have to. But especially now for girls, guys, anybody getting in the industry, I would say you don't, pick a niche, but be yourself, because you don't have to. Like, I am a very sexual person, of course, right? Like, but it doesn't have to be just that. And I would tell girls to just don't think that because you're online, you have to be like this or you have to be like that. What you should be is your true self, and your
Yeah.
following will come. I promise. Like if you build it, he will come. Like, you know, like I promise that if you stay true to yourself and don't look around at other people, what other people are doing, people will flock to you for being your unique self. And I'm blessed to be experiencing that in this industry.
Yeah, it's sometimes we kind of sit there, don't we, and we look. And I see some of the girls, you know, I'm on OnlyFans, you're on OnlyFans as well,
Yes.
and you see some of the girls, and then like, especially on Twitter handles, they go like, I'm like so much percent on OnlyFans, and I
Right.
found myself in the past like sitting there and being like, wow, these girls, they're making this much money, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not making that much money, I'm not that percentage, and then I realize like what I'm doing is doing something that I enjoy. I'm putting in the amount of hours that I enjoy. My fans are responding back to me. And
Yes.
this is, you know, these are my stats. I don't want to share them with other people. But at the same time, I shouldn't compare myself to other people because we're totally different people.
Yes, and Tanya, it's more also, it's not quantity, it's quality. Like I may not have 850,000 subscribers, right? But I have a very unique market, a unique niche, and my subscribers are high paying, and my subscribers sign up for something different. So sure, you could be in the top 0.001% with 80 million subscribers. That's cool, but I provide such a personal connection, and I love the fans that I have. And if more comes, that's great. If less, I get it. But I know that I can devote true Taylor to those ones that are there. So I don't have to be rushed and this and that. And I'm not saying I don't have a lot of fans, but what I'm saying is it's not about the quantity. I learned through weight loss, through everything, it's not about the number. It's about how are you doing? How are they doing? Are you feeling successful? Are you content with where you are? And we all have several different streams of income, so those numbers don't matter. Numbers don't matter. I really, you know, unless you're sports betting, but numbers don't matter because I'm an avid sports better, but they just don't matter. It's same with weight, same with just anything in life. Like just be yourself and care. If does it make you happy? Are you content where you are? Are you able to produce amazing content that they love? Well, then that's cool. You don't have to cut one video into 18 pieces and try to resell it for months on end. You know, you just be yourself, do your thing.
Yeah,
It's so
whatever
important in
works for you.
business. It's so important. I think it's something that's severely overlooked. Authenticity. It's severely overlooked, and I feel that people are afraid to be their authentic self because they think, well, then I won't, you know, fit in. But you don't want to fit in. You want to stand out. You know.
Yeah, I like that, standing out
Yeah.
and doing the things that you enjoy. You know, I think, you know, if I was to do certain sexual acts, would I bring in more fans? Will fans be willing to spend? Yes, they would. But those sex acts, will I enjoy them? Maybe the fans want me to do something that my body's not really physically capable of. And like
Right.
fans, they can be like really demanding. Why don't you do this with, you know,
Oh
loads
yeah.
of these guys and loads of entries going in all at the same time? And I'm just like, well, that's not my kind of performance, you know? And that's not something that I want to actually do. It's nice when the fans respect and
Yes.
enjoy what you provide for them. It's that personal interaction.
I agree. And it's like, sure, people are gonna like to this day. I've been offered a lot of money to do boy girl. I have never done boy girl. I have no interest in doing boy girl. My fans know that. You know, people will always say, well, you have such a bigger market. Actually, my market of fans does not want me to do boy girl. I do not want to do boy girl. And if I'm going to do boy girl and not love it, then it's not going to be good. So what's the point? But see, people always like they want the forbidden fruit. They want to take you to your extremities, right?
Yeah.
Like for instance, you know, the different types of levels of sex. There's certain things I do, certain things I don't do. And people always want to ask for the ones that they know that you don't want to do just because they want to like conquer it or something, you know? So I learned, and I'm glad I learned this early, was just stick to your guns. I have no need for me personally. I have no need for hardcore because I'm very extremely successful just doing what I do. And I'm not going to change that for anything. There is no price to put on that for me. It's just something, sure, I'll say to the fans, maybe one day, maybe if I have a partner, and I'm with somebody for a long time and we decide to do stuff, but it's not on my radar at all. Right now, I'm just single Taylor doing me, and my fans love me for that. So right now, this is what it is. And if you like it, stay. And if you don't, well, there's lots of other girls that you can go visit, which I say consistently, like on cam. Like, there's so many, just search in the bar what you want, and bam, whatever you want will pop up. So please stop asking me to do it when other girls are right there that do it, but it's like the fruit they want. So
yeah, it's like for me, I didn't do boy girl for many years. The fans kept asking. So I did my first boy girl scene back with Kieran Lee, and I've just really seen. He's great. I was like, I got to do it with someone who I'm going to trust,
Yes.
And then my second boy girl scene, which I've just recently shot, was with Quinton James. And so like two really nice guys,
Yeah.
And so I've given it. I'm like, here it is, and it's now the fans are like. Some fans are like, well, what about this? And what about this level?
Right.
And what about
they'll never, it won't be enough. And just to be clear, like all of my friends, including you and, Nikki, Alexa, like everybody, all my friends are in the do boy girl. It's not, I have nothing against that. In fact, I have so much respect for the ability, because people think that that's just fun and games. No, that's work. That's also hard ass work, And so all my friends do it. It's not a matter of that. It's like some do, some don't. And I respect everybody for the work that they do. And that's just wasn't right for me. So, and I love that the girls that are able to choose, who they want to do scenes with and whatnot, because it matters, I think, to produce great content that you're connected with somebody. I always feel that even in pictures, if you're not happy, it's going to show. Your work will, if you're not happy with the person, like it's kind of hard to hide. That's why my face doesn't lie, except when I'm playing poker. I have a great poker face. And, when it comes to that stuff, but otherwise, you can kind of read it on my face if I have a connection with somebody or not, and I admire everybody in the industry who does boy girl or not, or girl or whatever they do. It's
so
work.
low.
We work so hard. It's not what people think. It's not like, oh, they just went and they did it on camera like that. It's take after take. It's a 12-hour day. Like they don't see that side, right?
Yeah.
So
it can be like different varying lengths of time and stuff.
Yeah.
So Taylor, I want to talk about, you mentioned your weight loss transformation. So
Sure.
you told me it was like you were 300 pounds pre-diabetic and you lost weight. Tell me about that.
Sure. It's actually crazy because I'm a Virgo. So when I set my mind to something, it's like, it's going to be done no matter what. It's Virgo season now, actually September 1st. But when I started in the industry, I would say I was a Snickers bar away from 300 pounds. I was 298, but I was pre-diabetic. I'm 5'4", so I'm short. That was obviously not a healthy weight. I kind of attribute it to a lot of my childhood wasn't the best childhood. I didn't have like very good structure. My dad passed away when I was 6. And so I was kind of from place to place and, just trying to survive. And I'm very good with my back against the wall. And I don't mean that sexually. I mean, but so I was, and when I started, like I said, I was so shocked at the success and the amount of fans. And I didn't realize there was this massive BBW community out there, which I just embraced. And I was never not confident as a BBW. Like I posed for Score magazine. I did Voluptuous. Like I wouldn't have done those things, spread my very thick thighs, in the middle of a magazine spread if I didn't feel comfortable with my body. So people are like, wow, like, because I was actually really confident as a BBW, but I was extremely unhealthy. And I was pre-diabetic, and the doctor said, look, Taylor, you've got to lose the weight, especially given, your height and all of that. So March 16th, 2006, I remember the dates because it's my day when I said, okay, that's it. It's time now to lose the weight, and I'm going to do it. I didn't set any specific number. But 13 months later, I had lost 180 pounds. So I was 120 pounds. Just to clear up everything, because people always ask this question. No, I did not have surgery, because people always think you must have had gastric bypass surgery. No, to everything I own, every dog I live, there's no way I could do gastric bypass. Why? Because I love food. I love to eat, and I can't just eat like a little, and obviously I looked it up. I was like, what is that? And then I said, no. And I said, you know what, Taylor, find what you want. And I had tried in the past, like stuff like Weight Watchers or calorie counting. And I said, no, I did a ketogenic diet. So basically keto before keto was like super popular. I did 3 hours a day of exercise. I had an elliptical at home. So I would do like cardio, watch TV. Why not? Then I would go to the gym for an hour and a half. And then at night before bed, I would do cardio again. And there was no days off. It's like Bill Belichick in my mind, which is Patriots coach. No days off. And I just bam, 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 bam. And I love the ketogenic diet. I actually don't call it a diet anymore. It's my lifestyle to this day. It fits. Yeah. I eat what I want. I can basically make a healthy version of anything. But so 13 months later, I had lost the weight and I was 120 pounds. Obviously, there was some loose skin, even though I'm glad that I stayed working out every single day, though, because that did help. But skin is skin and scars are going to be scars. So, but it was worth it because I'm healthier. I was healthier.
Yeah.
Everyone was shocked. And unfortunately, look, I was very scared, actually, at first. I didn't want to. I thought to myself, and this is crazy how we don't put ourselves first, right? I said, oh my God, if I lose this weight, I'm done with this industry. No, I'm going to lose all my fan base. I'm so scared now. What's going to happen to my business? Am I going to have to go back and work at TELUS Mobility? Like, I was very scared, but I quickly learned too that I would say I kept 97% of my old fan base, and I gained my whole new world opened up. Except for those very few troll ones that were like, I can't wait till she gains the weight back. Or how could she do this to the BBW community? She was the icon. Well, no one told me. And then I said, well, into my head, and I had the worst messages, like the worst, and I'm like, would they rather have me dead or big or fat or whatever? So I'm like, you guys don't get it. And I quickly realized then too, that it was my personality and my connection with my fans that what was really the base of my business, because it wasn't just looks. I have fans from 2005 that I see regularly because it didn't matter, and of course it opened up new worlds to me, like it did, but it was a very tough decision. And it was one of the hardest things that I had to do in my entire life. It's also one of the things I am the most proud of, because it wasn't kind of like, okay, I'll lose a little bit and do that. It was like, no, Taylor wants to do this. So Taylor did it all the way till 13 months later. And then I realized even then, sorry if I'm rambling, but I realized even then at 120, that's not really I wanted to be a little bit kind of bigger, because I had kind of I missed my curves. Like I said, I loved being a bigger girl. I am very comfortable with the way my body is now. And it's not about the number, but still I was so happy to have lost 180. Like that's like two people sometimes. You're just like, holy crap.
It's amazing. And I'm sitting here and I'm listening, because this is really the first time that you've told me the actual story,
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing is someone that is so committed to, you have something in your mind and you picture what you want to be and you picture what you want to do and you pictured health. That's what you pictured. And you didn't think about like, I'm going to lose all this weight. You were like, I've got a goal and I want to be healthy. And with that come the commitment, become the diet, become the research, that focus that you had in your mind was so detailed. And that's what I love. That's what makes me think, we can all do it. We can all do anything that we want.
It's in us. It's so important to set goals, and it's so important to have something to put your energy in and look forward to and say, I'm going to do that, because anything is possible in life. If we really want something, we will do it, whatever it is. we can't just wish for it. Like, life is about action and taking the steps. Like, how many times can we say, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that, but then we never do it because we think we can't. We have to believe in ourselves, right? Like, a 1,000-mile journey begins with just one step. That's what the quote I used at the very beginning of my weight loss. And it was very tough, but then those, that hour at the gym got easier, and then it got easier. And then I pushed myself, and I made sure I got a trainer that was like, no crap, you're doing this, go, you can do it, go. And as long as you believe inside, like, it makes me emotional, because as long as you believe, because I had a lot of people try to stop me, a lot of friends that were like, you just have a chocolate bar. Like, I had a lot of people for some reason feel threatened that I was going to lose this weight. And I'm thinking, are you my friend? Or like, don't you want me to be that? Like, don't you want the best for me? Like, and a lot of people were very threatened, and there was a lot of negativity, and people are going to dislike you at any age, color, race, religion. It doesn't matter, because when I was big, they said, you're too fat. When you lost the weight, you're too skinny. Then you're ugly. Then you're this. Then you have a big nose. And then you're that. And then, I had thick skin, literally. And I realized people are going to say, if I was walking right here with Jesus and we were together and smiling and we're going to save the world, people would still be like, that bitch. Like, people would get to talk to Jesus. Like, what I'm saying is, there's always going to be people that their soul desires to poke at you or try to get a reaction out of you or to try to be negative towards you. And I just can't, I don't listen to that noise anymore. Like, I block more people a night than I think anybody does when I'm working, because I don't, that's my space. This is my space. I am the little miss lover of the block button. I'm very thankful for that. If you come into my room with negative energy, you will leave forever. I'm okay with it. It might be lost money, but do I really want your money if you're going to be that type of person? At the very least, I've taught you how to be. So you can go to the next girl and maybe have a little more humility and maybe have some common sense to speak like a human being, So don't just come in and type, this or that, or maybe, hi, how are you? Maybe I'll read this huge tip menu you have on your screen that is blocking our view of you. But hey, maybe I'll read it because it might be there for a reason. Like, it's just, common sense sometimes escapes people. But back to my point is, people, you have to do what you want to do for yourself. Be your best self, whatever that means for you, because no matter what, other people will have something to say at any level. So stop trying to please them and please yourself, and that is, it's essential to success, survival, and mental health.
I love it. That's when I do this podcast, it's not just about, hey, we've got fans, we're doing webcam, we're on, you're on StreamMate, just
now.
Put it out
I am
there.
now on StreamMate. After iFriends shut down, it was great, because StreamMate had approached me when I was with iFriends as well. But I'm very loyal, like I said, and I stick to one spot, which is, it's a double-edged sword, But StreamMate's been, they scooped me up, got me online within 24 hours, and they were very, very good to me in transitioning. And StreamMate is a whole other ballgame. It is not iFriends, where iFriends, you don't see me until you're coming in the room paying. There's no free chat or anything like that. StreamMate is a different beast, and it was tough at first, but I maintained. Even StreamMate told me, don't change who you are. Don't, because it's a very highly sexualized site, and it's very like gold showy and quick sexual acts type of thing. And I'm not like that. So what I had to do is stand my ground, stay being me, the same me who loves conversation, this, that, connection. And I was able to stay extremely successful on StreamMate by maintaining who I am. I could have easily started doing, toys, and I do my thing, and it's working. So I'm okay with it. But I will say that every girl works extremely hard on StreamMate, but I'm thankful that in that environment, which is completely opposite to what I was used to, I was able to stay true to myself, and I'm extremely successful there, and I love it.
So this can happen to anyone. Like, you're going to work every day, it doesn't matter what kind of work you've got that you're going to, and then it just suddenly happens. It's like, hey, you've got no job. And it can happen to any of us.
Yes.
Any platform can shut
Yes.
down, any company can stop paying you your check. And it's like, what do? You look for other opportunities. You have to open your eyes and be like, hey, what else is out there for me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's jumping on and moving forward and being like, you know what? I know that I can be successful. If I was successful that place, I can also be successful at this place as well. And just
Yeah.
keep that mind and that focus.
Yes. Even if it took like, it was a lot harder. Honestly, like when my friends just shut down on me, I was gut punched. I was crying. It's like I was grieving the loss of a family member, because I'm like, how could they do this without even like letting us know or anything? Or it was just devastating for me. And I had to grieve it for like, I was in shock for like a few days. But I guess everybody kind of like the webcam world kind of found out right away. And I will give credit to Samantha. She was a BBW as well. She's on Streammate, Samantha 38G. And she said, look, you could do this. Bing, bang, boom. And she helped me I was able to talk with the people that reached out to me prior, and they really got me going. And yeah, I faced a lot of challenges in the beginning because some people didn't know me. My old fans didn't know where to find me. Even though iFriends said, you can type in here and they'll find you. Most did, because I have all the contacts I maintain with them. And that's great. And then some people come in still don't know me. And I say, hey, look me up. And, I feel like my life has been full of challenges. Like after losing all the weight to be healthy 4 years later, I got diagnosed on Christmas Eve with cancer. And I'm just like, what? Didn't I just become like the healthiest version of myself? And so that hit me hard. But I said, again, with that cancer, I said, well, what are we going to do? So I threw on a wig and worked through it. But it was the irony of it, just right. You do all this to be healthy. And then 4 years later, on Christmas Eve, nonetheless, I get the phone call from my oncologist because I was misdiagnosed at a GlamourCon. I was in a GlamourCon convention in Long Beach with Wendy Fiore and Jordan Carver, and we were doing glamour. But on the plane, I had experienced these unbelievable chest pains. And actually, they filled up like a huge Diet Coke bottle full of boiling water to do that straight from the plane to the hospital, where they did a bunch of tests on me. And I didn't want to stay in the hospital. I'm like, I got to go. I have GlamourCon. The next day I was in a lot of pain. So even though I went home, the next day I was at GlamourCon because I still dressed up, and I said, no, my fans are waiting to see me. What is going on? So I went, and even Jordan and Wendy were in shock because all of a sudden I felt chest pains. I ran out on the roof to be in the sun because I was freezing, and I had to be rushed to the hospital again, St. Mary's, and they did every test in the book on me. And they told me, listen, Taylor, you have a tumor. Like, they did every test. The biopsy was crazy. They did all the tests, and they said you have a tumor between, your heart and your lungs, but it's benign, is what they said. And they said to me, you're going to need to do a surgery. You're going to have a scar from here to here, but go home and see your oncologist to set that up. So I was devastated again. I'm like, yeah. I can't have a scar. I was thinking about that. And then I said, whoa, at least I said, thank God, at least that it's benign,
Yeah.
So then I get back to Canada, and, I go to the doctor and we do a bunch of tests. And then I get the phone call on Christmas Eve, and I'm doing my makeup for Christmas Eve dinner with my best friend at Mac. And the doctor's like, hey, I've got great news. And I was like, yes, awesome, doctor. What is it? He's like, you do not have to have surgery. I'm like, oh, cool. So I was like, yes, no scar, He's like, but you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I'm going to need you to come in on January 2nd. I was like, and my best friend she's my best friend now, but she was doing my makeup, and she knew kind of, like, I hadn't told anybody, but I was tearing up. She had ran to the back, and I said, doctor, how's this good news, And then I said, okay, I'll come in on January 2nd, and we'll, start the chemo, because he wanted me to start chemo right away. So my stomach was like, oh boy. And I saw my friend, and I said, come. I said, we're not ruining this great makeup. I said, so do my makeup and let me go. And I didn't tell anybody till after Christmas and the New Year, which was tough, and I got in real bad crap for it because people are like, why did you keep that to yourself? I didn't want to ruin anybody's Christmas and anyone's holiday. And I didn't want people feeling sorry for me. And, I was still processing it, but I should have told the people that loved me, and because they were really hurt by it. And I didn't realize that. I thought I was doing them a favor by not telling them and not ruining their Christmas, but they care about me more than they cared about the holidays. So eventually I said, well, I have to go in today. And they're like, go in for what? I'm like, chemo. They're like, everyone was just like, what? And so I did 8 rounds of chemotherapy, 2 months of radiation. I had lost all my hair. I was 80 pounds. A lot of people think that I lost the weight because of the cancer. They don't realize that I had lost it 4 years prior, just because I had lost extra during cancer, and it was disgusting. I was like 80 pounds, it was terrible. But my mindset, ask anybody at the Exotica conventions, like, I still went. I threw on my wig and worked on camera. I had no hair. Okay, who cares? Threw on my wig, went on camera.
That's where we met, isn't it? At one of the Exotica conventions.
Yes.
I just remember you being there on one of the booths, and we kind of like got talking, and I was like, you were so lovely. Like, just
you were
so
too. That's why we stayed
sweet.
talking. It was great to meet everybody, and everybody, I was very open with my struggle and what I was going through. I never lied. I never hid anything. I remember Sarah J saying to me, you should just rock the bald. So a couple times I did rock the bald, but I never wanted to believe that I was sick. So I just kept working. And of course there were those days where it hits you and it's like, Taylor, slow down. Okay. You are sick. And I had to remember that when my head's in the toilet and the prednisone's kicking in, and you're like, I just wanted it over so fast, that even you have to be a certain weight to get your chemotherapy. So I remember one day I wasn't the right weight because I couldn't keep anything down. And the doctors are like, well, you're going to have to wait till you can at least get up 2 pounds. And I was like, what do you mean I have to wait? I have to put off my chemo? So I was so mad. And then the next day, I think it was because the weekend, the Monday, I drank like 4 or 5 gallons of water right before I went, and I got on the scale. And so I was the correct weight, but
you slipped it in.
Yeah, but you know what? This is where it tells you in life, don't take shortcuts, and it teaches you a lesson, because that's just water weight, right? So that chemo treatment in turn set me back even more, because my body couldn't handle the drugs because it wasn't real weight. It was just water weight. And so I was even sicker, and I got set back even longer. So it's like, don't take shortcuts. Don't try to cheat, health and time. And so I just went through it, and my fans went through it with me. A lot of support from fans, and obviously industry girls, everybody was so supportive, and got me through it. Like, it got me through it. And especially Sophie too. Sophie was always in my corner, like, you're too skinny, you need to get, and I'm like, I know, I'm trying.
Sophie D.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she's so
she always she always lifted me up, and she always genuinely, cared. And so did Nikki. And I love that. If I didn't have that support in the industry, I'm not sure that I could have held my head high at these conventions having cancer, but I did. And I'm thankful that, it's so nice to know when there's a support group of people that genuinely care about you.
Yeah.
And so, I did it, the chemo radiation, and I'm now cancer free. And I'm so excited. And also now that's why I'm so anal with my time. I'm like, time is the most valuable asset. Life is short. This is your life. It's ending 1 minute at a time. Please don't waste my time. That is my biggest pet peeve. I always tell people that just don't waste the time we have. Life is short, and we need to live in each moment. We gotta live while we're alive, like Bon Jovi said. Like, what are we gonna do after? We don't want to go to people's funerals and say how great they were after they're gone. Say how great they are to their face.
You are great, Taylor. You are great. You really are. You really are. To come through that I was like thinking, don't water up, and I was like focusing on my eyes. Oh, that is.
There's bad days. There was, of course, days where, and even for many other reasons, where you're depressed and you're so lost and you feel so helpless, but you've got to hold on. And I think I was saying, if your head's always down in the darkness, you're never going to see the light. So you got to look up and see that light and know that it's there. And even if it takes a little bit longer for you to get there, just know that it is there, and it's going to be there, and you will get there when you're ready to get there. So as long as you have the faith that that light is there, walk towards it, whatever it is. Yeah. And so I believed that I could beat cancer. I did. I've been through many, many things after that even. And you just have to believe deep down that you could, like I said, that believe in yourself. And dark days are going to be there, but so are going to be good ones,
Yeah. I mean, even like our fans have dark days, you feel it from them sometimes, don't you? And it's like, and I have had it, like, I'm sure that you've had it as well. Sometimes, like, your fans, your very loyal fans, they have days, and it's like, I'm like, okay, tomorrow's a new day. And let's, like, refocus on that the next day. And let's get all that positivity flowing. I've had it myself sometimes, and it's just like, today, it's like, you get up and everything could go wrong. But it's your mindset that's telling you everything's going wrong, because you see the bad in everything. It takes a strong person to be able to see the good in everything. It's not easy. It's really not easy.
No, it's probably this is why I'm such a huge advocate for mental health, because it is a struggle. I have suffered from extreme things and PTSD from a lot of things. It's so important that mental health not be brushed under the rug. It's so important that we talk and we do not isolate ourselves, and we do talk to people about it, because I'm the type of person, like, even with my cancer, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. These people don't need to hear that, And then what's amazing is how many of my fans that want to talk about their stuff and want me to talk about my stuff with them. And it's amazing how many people you can reach with your story. And that's why I always say, don't keep it. I mean, obviously maintain your privacy if you want, but if you feel like you can discuss what you've gone through, you could help anybody, And it's like what I say too. It's like, you could smile at someone and change their entire day, and you won't even know it, because that person is feeling a certain way. I always say that, just be kind. People are not kind anymore. And I hate when I see that type of bullying or that type of, it really gets to my soul, because I know that person doesn't deserve that type of bullying. And then I also know that hurt people hurt other people. So it's like, you want to say to, like, that person, like, that they're going through something. If their intention is to hurt others, they haven't dealt with their own pain and hurt. And it's just, it's sad, but I encourage everybody to always focus on their mental health. Like, I have to every day. I see a therapist. I'm very open about, groups and going through stuff, because PTSD can eat you alive, and depression can eat you alive, and the struggle is real. And so are we. Like, that's what I want people to know. We're not just these models who put on this smile and woohoo, like, we're human. That I always remind my fans to remember that I'm human, and to treat me as such, because you teach people how to treat you. And it's important that they know that I could be your fantasy, but I'm also real too. So I'm like your real fantasy, which is even better. Like, you're getting the real me, 100%. So I just feel that it is true. It depends on the glasses that you put on that day, and your emotions kind of control that. And once you are able to get out of your own mind, or someone can help pick you up and get you out of that mindset, you can see, not everything in this moment is what it's going to be forever.
Yeah.
And I have had trouble thinking that way in life too. I'm like, it's going to be like this forever. What am I going to do with my life? It's over. And then I realized, you've started over in your life since you're born. Your father passed, you started over. You lived on your own. You were on your own since you're 15. You started over. I built a webcam career on my friend's futon with a cheap webcam on top of 3 cookbooks that I never used, and I built my career that way. And then I did pinup, and then the world just opens up if you let it. If you let yourself be open to those opportunities, they will come. Manifest. Yeah. It will come. I'm not saying that, snap the fingers and say, let's win the lottery and you'll get it. But no, be realistic about your expectations, set goals, and believe in yourself. And remember you're loved by, if you don't feel loved, you are loved. There are people out there who need to hear you, see you. Your voice could change their lives. Your presence could change their lives.
I'm sure that there are fans every day that see us. They are inspired by our smile. They, I'm sure that there are people out there that they don't get to talk to, except like it could be someone like us each day, even if they're just checking in to just say hi. You're on the webcam on StreamMates. I also know that you do live shows as well on OnlyFans, and also,
and on
the fans.
I do a lot of exclusives, like on camwatate.com, which is my link. But those members, like, we do exclusives, and sometimes we're just talking. They just want to talk. Most of literally 95% of my fan base is talking, and maybe a little dancing and boobies in the end. But my fan base is very real. We are friends. We connect, and and this is so important to remember. If they treat you good and you treat them good, whatever it is you're giving them in a show, it's going to be excellent. But if they treat you bad, like if someone comes in my room and is insulting towards me, I will kick them out. I don't care if they're paying, because I know that I'm not going to deliver those 5-star Taylor Stevens shows to that person, because my heart is not in it, and I'm already like disgruntled by the, so it's a lot of people I block that then write to me, I'm so sorry. And I used to do unblocking. I used to charge an unblock fee back in the day, but now I don't bother, because I won't give someone a second chance to hurt me again, because I have to protect my peace at all costs, and I have to protect the show I deliver and the person that I am and the energy for the right people. Exactly. So that's why people will say, please unblock me, I'm sorry. And I say to them, I'm sorry. I appreciate your apology, but hopefully you can learn from this. And sometimes they'll go and they'll join my OnlyFans, and that's great, because there you're going to get to know me. But I'm not going to just allow it to be the easy way. I want people to learn that people are human. You have to have respect for each other in life, and just dignity, common decency. We're not just robots. That's one of my role plays, as a robot. I'll role play as one, but I'm not in real life. I am not one. So please.
I got asked to do a robot role play the other day, and he said it to me. It was on Sex Panther, and he said it to me, this information. So I was like, okay. And then he called up. So I was just like, okay, I've not done this before. So I started doing it, and he kind of stopped, and he went, no, this is the way I want it to be. And I said, okay. I said, you didn't really give me much information, but okay, I'll listen. And he told me stuff, but again, it was just like little tiny pieces. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my best with what you've given me. And then the phone went down like really quite quick, and I was like, I don't know whether he was extremely satisfied, whether he got right to the point of the end, or whether it was like too much that I wasn't doing what he wanted. And it's
hard, and it's funny. Like, I've had a lot of different, I've seen everything. Like, I literally can say I've seen everything, I've heard everything. But like, it was funny because he's like, can you be a robot? And I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, and he's like, just be a robot and then malfunction. And I'm like, malfunction? And then
it's probably the same guy.
So I was like making noises. I was like, zzz, 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 and then I was like, and then I was like, oh, like as if I was malfunctioning. And I'm just like, Taylor, what in the world are you doing? But he was happy with that. He wanted me to malfunction. So I thought, okay, when someone malfunctions, they just shake and they're like, oh. So
I didn't do the noise. That's probably why he's in wrong.
I think that noise is up. I was like, pew, pew, pew. And then I was like, and then it was just like, okay, I just kind of went with it. So I was like, all right, freelance that one. But improv. But it's crazy. But it was like, okay. And, they wanted that, and they were satisfied. And he comes back all the time. But it's just fun. We're not really robots, though, guys. Okay, we're human, but we will play them for you. But please remember deep down that we have actually, a pulse and a heartbeat and feelings.
Yes, we do. And I love this. My guests that I have on here, Taylor, I love people that are inspirational and positive and can really give some insight into everyone that's listening, whether it be the fans, whether it be other content creators. And you've brought it to us today, Taylor, that
Thank you.
Everything that you said has just been amazing. Sharing your story, how you've overcome adversity, how you transformed when it really looked like the end was right there. Someone else could be standing in your shoes and think, this is it. But no, you carried on. You had that goal one step at a time. You said one step at a time, and keep smiling and see that light. Like,
Yeah.
look for that light, see that light, and know it's there for us all. So every single one of us that are listening right now, it
Yeah.
is there. You can get through anything that you want. You put your mind to it, you focus, and
Yes.
it manifests, you know?
It does, because there are some really dark days for me. There are days when I've been on camera, and whenever I get upset and I'm upset, so I would just put my head above the camera so they could just see this area, because I wouldn't want to, I'd stand up just so they can, I guess, just see my cleavage or whatever, so that they wouldn't see the pain in my face, because I generally don't log on if I'm in a bad place, because I don't want that to resonate.
Yeah.
So I'll just log off. There's many times I take a break, scream and cry, come right back.
Yeah.
We have to put ourselves first. And, it's not just, it's for the industry girls. Like, I want everybody to know, it doesn't have to be this catty world that I know a lot of people create. It's, for me, I don't see people as competition. I don't even look at what other girls do online as far as when I'm working. I see it as great. We're all in this industry together. We're all succeeding and making money. There's no reason to try to bring, other people down. Because what's that going to really do? They can stoop any level they want, but I'm not going to stoop to their level. I want success for everybody. If I do good, they're going to do good.
Yeah.
If we set a standard in the industry, we're all going to benefit from it. And so that's what I want girls to believe in their worth and their value. There's a lot of new girls that have started, a lot of girls that have come to me for webcam advice, even girls that are, let's say, famous for other reasons, TV shows or whatnot. And I always say, be authentic, and don't set your price based off other people. I have a very, high value. It's based off my talents and my experience, and no one's going to change that, despite, I'm not going to change it because, that girl's price is lower and she might be busier that night. I know, but I'm getting, these 40-minute sessions, these 3-day sessions, and exclusive, so I'm catering to my market. It's I'm not going to go into Rolls Royce and say, you're way too expensive, or look at the car and say, that's ugly. You know what I mean? People are so quick to say stuff like that. So what I would say to girls is, stay true. It might seem like you have to be like everybody else. I'm the boob girl. Then it became, butt became the new boobs. But did I go and get this, big booty? I mean, I always wanted a big booty. I had one when I was bigger. But my point is, I stopped looking at my scale over a year ago, because I work out. I do the things to better my body and keep myself healthy. And I can look in the mirror and say, except for stuff that from losing weight, I have excess skin on my thighs. If I can fix that, I will. I'm not going to have surgery, though. It's going to leave a scar on my thighs. I decided that. I did have it. Everyone sees this tattoo on my stomach. Oh, she's hiding a tummy tuck. I'm not hiding it. I had a ginormous stomach. I had a tummy tuck to get all the skin from my weight loss. I mean, the skin alone was weight and interfering. So I don't hide that. I just put a tattoo over it because it looks nicer than a scar. It's fine. You can ask me the truth. I'll tell you, And so stay true to who you are. Be your best self, whatever that means. It's not a number. It's not a certain look. It's not the hair color. It's your uniqueness. Yeah. So when you get into the industry, you think, oh my God, which girl should I be like? That's the biggest mistake.
Just be you.
Just find out what you're passionate about. Are you a cosplay girl? Are you a video gamer? Are you what do you want to do? Do it. You can do anything you want and be anything you want anywhere in life. If I want to quit today and become a lawyer, I have 2 degrees. I will, but I love this, and this is me, and I get to be me every day. Well, hell yeah. I think I enjoy being me. So I hope I can allow other people to enjoy me too.
Perfect. That was just that was the best wrap up I could have asked for, Taylor.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but
it's all about helping and giving guidance and inspiring others to be successful.
yeah.
And you've done that for us today,
Thank you.
Taylor. Thank you
I
so
mean,
much.
look at you. Like, I look at you, I look at everybody in the industry, and I don't get mad. I get like, yes, I'm gonna be like that too. I can get there too in my way. I can do this. You could, if anybody could do it, if they just believe in themselves. I swear, I know it sounds so corny, but it's like you can. You can. I promise you can.
Yeah. Like was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease 2 years ago, and one of the things that I found that really helps me stay on target is a complete change in diet. And with that complete change in diet, I lost 20 pounds, which I didn't need to lose 20 pounds, but I lost it and I put some back on. But just, and my health is more important, training, working out, getting my strength back. Exactly. And focusing on those things that you just said, be yourself, be authentic. I'm being me, and I'm working towards my health, and I'm working towards my goal of my fitness and my strength. And I'm still me. And I surround myself with the positive fans, and they're the ones that get, my attention and the interaction. And I just love it because the fans, they make that journey that you're on even better. And it
is health before wealth, because you cannot make money if you're dead. You cannot affect other people and affect change in the world if you're not clear in your mind. As much as I used to brush it off, Tanya, so much, I used to always say, oh yeah, well, whatever, because my work ethic, it's like I work 80 hours a week. I don't care about my body. But then your body says, your body says, slow the frick down, because it will burn you out. And you have to remember that, you have to put your health first, because we don't get younger. We don't get, but we can get healthier mind, body, and soul. So keep your health first, and the rest will follow. It's not about weight. It's about true health.
Yes.
All around.
Thank you so much, Taylor Stevens. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you for being my very, very first video guest.
I was so excited today because I'm like, yes, I'm so happy we spoke, and I was just going over our pictures from the Jersey Exotica, and I was like, I miss her so much. You were sleeping.
I was just like, if anyone's wondering what we're talking about, it's on our Twitter. My Twitter's at Tanya Tate. You can find it on there. So Taylor, tell everybody that's like listening and watching, because this is a video as well. Tell them all where they can find you online.
So my campsite, so where you can come see me camming live and bubbly, is camwithtate.com. You can find me very active on my Twitter, especially during football season, which is at Tay Stevens. My Instagram is at Real Taylor Stevens, because this one's not deleted just yet. And then, of course, you can go to playwithtay.com. That's my OnlyFans. Or just taystevens.fans, and that will give you access. It's my hubster where it lists all my sites. But cam with me on Cam with Tay, play with me on OnlyFans, Play with Tay, and then find me on Twitter and Instagram, and let's connect.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you.
I love you guys. Stay positive. I'm here for you, okay? Reach out.
This is Tanya Tate, Skinfluencer.